I have a bigger issue with friends and family who think it's appropriate to out me for me, like they're doing me a favor, than I do transphobic people I don't even know. They know that I live in this apartment complex and I don't feel safe. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name's Kyle, aka Prince Kyle, don't forget it. And I have an Instagram as well as a TikTok where I share my female to male transition, as well as give tips to anybody who would like to hear about it. Today is going to be kind of a different video. One where I want you guys to chime in. I want you guys to leave in the comments how you feel about it and if you've experienced anything like this, because it's something that's been frustrating me a lot. It is half of the reason why future events are going to happen. I want to talk about why you should not out someone that is transgender just because you know they're trans. Some of you guys are probably thinking, obviously. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not understand that. Now, believe it or not, I have a bigger issue with people I know who out me just because they want to blurt out people's business and have a topic to talk about with their little friends than I do transphobic people who are outwardly transphobic and tell me they're transphobic. I have a bigger issue with the people I know. It sounds kind of crazy, like transphobic people are a lot worse. No, honestly, transphobic people are their own breed. I don't even care. They have their opinions, they're ignorant, they're uneducated, and that's that. They're just uneducated. They're their own breed, and I don't care about them. But the people that try to educate themselves yet still announce trans people's business, and for my situation, my personal business, that is a bigger issue to me than the transphobic community. So I have two stories to share with you on just why it is extremely frustrating, and it's happened in my life twice now in the past year and a half. And I'm just so fed up with it. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys and maybe get to that side of YouTube to where the people that think it's okay to out their trans friends and their trans brothers, sisters, or family members, I want to reach that part of the YouTube algorithm to make it known that that is not okay. So please like this video so it can get to the other side of YouTube. And it may not be the pretty side of YouTube, but it needs to get to that side of YouTube. About a year ago, my girlfriend was working somewhere and there was a frequent customer who really liked her. Sorry if I keep looking over there, my son's over there playing and I just gotta keep eyes on him. But yeah, about a year ago, my girlfriend worked somewhere and a regular customer would always come in and he would always try and shoot his shot. And he knew she was in a relationship, but you know, some people, they don't care, and he was one of them. But my girlfriend every time was very pleasant and would turn him down respectfully. Denied. He ended up coming into the store and he was like, "Oh, so you don't want to be with me because you're with a tranny? Is it true that your boyfriend is a tranny?" Now, first we're thinking, well, maybe he found me on social media. That's everyone's first thing. And guys, believe it or not, I know I share my life on social media. I know I share my transition on social media. So I get it. A lot of people are going to figure out I'm trans. But believe it or not, that's not the way it ends up happening. The people that find out, who end up being very ignorant and rude about it, they don't find out because of social media. They find out because of people who have big mouths. They find out from people who are supposed to be my friends, people who are supposed to be my family. That's how they find out. And that's what pisses me off. So back to the story. He was asking her all those questions and she was like, first of all, what does that have to do with anything? You're just mad because I don't want you, and now you're using things against me as if it's supposed to hurt my feelings. And then he started using racial slurs about me being black, and you can obviously imagine what the racial slur was. And he just started becoming very aggressive. We were so confused as to how he figured out that I was trans, and we found out that it was her manager. I'm not friends with the manager nor any of her employees, and my girlfriend's wasn't even friends with either of these people. It was just coworkers. But because they knew that I was trans, because I live in a small town and they grew up around me, they took it amongst themselves to just discuss my person and who I was. And me and my girlfriend are just so confused because it's like, first of all, we're not even friends with you, so why do you think that it is appropriate? And why did you find the need to have me be the center of your discussion at work? We ended up confronting these people and asking why they thought it was their business to out me. And they had no answers. They kept saying, oh, it was this person, oh, it was that person. Nobody wanted to come forward and say who it was. And it's like, you guys had so much time and effort to talk about me and tell everybody who I was because you wanted me to be the center of the topic. So now come forth and be the center of the topic and tell me who said it. And that's just one example of how something can be turned into a very dangerous situation, because thankfully that's as far as it got. We did end up getting the police involved just to be safe, because we know, again, small town, this guy knew the area we lived in, so we wanted to get the police involved just so we had it on record, as well as a record for my girl's job, because the manager was the one that was outing me. So we took legal action, as we should, and thankfully it didn't go any further than that. But that's just one example of how dangerous it can be to be outing people just because you want to have a discussion, you want to talk about some drama, you want something. Your life is so boring that you find the need to put someone else's life in danger by outing them. And I understand that some people are just too ignorant or naive to understand that by telling someone that you are trans can be dangerous. It takes one person. You could tell one transphobic person who just really, really hates the trans community and them actually attack one of us just because you felt the need to tell somebody's story. It is not your place to tell somebody's story. The second one is where I live right now. Thank God I'm moving soon. My girlfriend was telling me the other day, our neighbor who helps, sometimes she'll babysit Hunter because she has a daughter his age, and we're pretty close with her. So she knows I'm trans because we have just built that relationship, and she knew because of a small town, and she just knew of me beforehand. So she's a safe person who does know I'm trans, and she respects and keeps it very private and personal. Well, we live in an apartment complex, and she had a maintenance order where she something happened in her apartment, and a maintenance person had to come over. Now, this guy who works in the maintenance knows me from being a child because I used to hang out with his daughter when we were like 8 years old. So obviously he knew I was biologically born female. Now, for some God-given reason, when he went and was working on her apartment, I came up. Right, I don't know why. I'm wondering the same thing. I came up in conversation, and he kept referring to me as my dead name. And the woman was like, I don't know who that person is. Now again, this woman knows I'm trans, but she didn't know my birth name before. She had no idea what it was. And he kept referring to me as, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. And he just kept referring to me that way, although he knows that I don't go by that anymore. And thank goodness that she had already known that I was trans, and thank goodness that we are already friends and very close. But he was outing me in a way by using my dead name, knowing that's not what I go by. It's almost like people will do that because they're either just too lazy to adapt to the new name that I go by and the new pronouns I go by, or it's them being ignorant and just not wanting to change their old ways. And that's super frustrating because this guy is like in his 50s. So it's like, first of all, why am I even a discussion? Like, we haven't talked in years. Like, I barely know you anymore. And why do you think it's a good idea to tell someone who you don't even know if they know I'm trans? Why do you think it's a good idea to be dead naming me to them? And again, this is a situation where if he was telling the wrong person that was very, very transphobic, now we all live in the same complex. Now this person could literally find my apartment and harm me, do whatever. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me how people do not realize this. And I could tell you more and more stories just from the past 7-8 years of my transition of people who just find it funny or find it like, I don't know, like it's almost like they think it's like an amazing story that they just have the right to tell for me instead of allowing me to do it. And a lot of people's excuses will be, oh, well, you already share it all over the internet, so it's not like you're hiding it. That's not the point. At the end of the day, it's my story to tell. I just want to give you an example. That's like me going up to one of my friends and saying, oh, did you know that person's blind? Did you know that person cannot hear? Like, why is that my story to tell? Why why is that a hot topic to talk about? I couldn't imagine myself doing that to somebody, telling somebody about someone's business that they may not even be that confident about. That it just blows my mind that people do that, especially grown adults. And so it's gotten to the point where I have made my circle so small just because I get very uncomfortable hanging out with people I once called my friends, because I know they're out there doing that. I know they're out there outing me, maybe out of maybe not even trying to be rude or disrespectful to me, but them just thinking that it's their place to tell my story for me, just because I have a social media presence and I do it online. Again, I don't remember if I said this in the beginning of the video, but I literally never have people come up to me and say they found out I'm trans because of social media. Normally it's because one of my friends or a neighbor or someone I knew growing up or a parent I knew growing up is outing me. And I have a bigger problem with people like that than I do with transphobic people who bully me online. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. I have a bigger issue with friends and family who think it's appropriate to out me for me, like they're doing me a favor, than I do transphobic people I don't even know who decide to bully me online because they don't understand my transition. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, I hope this gets to the right side of YouTube, the people who need to hear this, and not the people that obviously know that it's wrong to do that. So guys, if you can, please like this video so it can get further out there, so we can educate people to not out others, because it is very dangerous. Thank God I am moving. I haven't told you guys yet, and I'm not telling you guys where I'm moving yet. I have been dropping hints that I had a big announcement coming up, but I'm still kind of keeping that secret for now. We still have about 4 months until we do move. We are moving out of this apartment complex, which is going to be very good, because both of the incidences that I shared with you, they know that I live in this apartment complex and I don't feel safe. And for the apartment, the maintenance guy, we did report it to the apartment complex. I don't know if anything has even happened yet, because I still see him every day working. So I'm not too sure what's happening with that, but I don't really care at this point because we are leaving. I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you can relate, please let me know in the comment if you've experienced similar situations like this, and smash the like button. Let's get this out there. I love you guys. As always, stay true, be you. Bye guys.